What's going on, people? I am Swaver, and this is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. I'm joined by my amazing team, minus one, Coco Love and Illuminated Lenses. Journey to be great. We'll be back soon. She just had something she had to do, but she'll be joining us next Sunday. As for Coco and E, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
Good.
living, man. Every day's good when you got another one.
That's true. That's true. So also, I want to tell our listeners, thank you so much as always for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content. Today, we're going to be talking about Cassie and her allegations of lawsuit against Diddy. Just to backtrack a little bit, this podcast is about bringing the community together. So we use the power of conversation to build better relationships within our community. In this conversation, we're going to be talking about some things you may be familiar with, you have experienced, or maybe know somebody that has experienced. But we're just going to use this as an example, give some facts and maybe some opinions, and we hope you guys like it. So we're going to start out with Coco Love. What you got for us today?
So on Thursday, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, filed a lawsuit against P. Diddy or Diddy or child, all them names.
Done Perfect Combs.
Yes, Puff
Puff,
Daddy,
Puff
him.
Daddy. Love, what he call his name? Love
He's
something.
Love now, I think. But
Love. Yeah, love.
He,
I stopped
he,
after Diddy. That's all I got for him. So whatever.
he
Diddy.
ain't showing much love now. Or maybe he's showing too much.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
shit.
So she filed a lawsuit against him on Thursday, I believe, seeking 30 million, I want to say. And it is alleging some pretty serious stuff that he put her through years of abuse, including emotional and physical abuse, human trafficking, rape, and more. She stated that, and this is a quote, it says, with the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. So to go further, the lawsuit basically alleges decades of manipulation, intimidation, and coercion that she went through basically by him being her boss and her romantic partner because, I believe she was like on his label or whatever. Also, according to the suit, quote, he often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on her. He forced her to engage in sexual acts with male sex workers while he masturbated and filmed the encounters. He coerced her into taking drugs and into procuring drugs for him. He forced her to carry his firearm and would violently retaliate anytime someone would try to intervene in the relationship. So, yeah, pretty strong allegations there. And then also, she alleges that he got a hold of her health documents, and apparently she had a MRI at one point, and the MRI showed that she suffered memory loss, right? So basically, she's stating that he played on that, and that anytime when he would abuse her, she would take pictures, right? Well, he would go in her phone and delete the pictures of the bruises and everything that he would leave on her, and then basically play on the fact that she suffers memory loss and like tell her like, oh, basically, you're tripping. Like, what are you talking about? You got memory loss. With this New York Adult Survivors Act, basically is a bill that allows victims to look back and you can take care of any allegations or whatever. It's for adult survivors whose statute of limitations have expired, and it gives them the ability to file a civil case against the offender. So that's why she's, basically doing this now, because the window to file is set to expire next week on November 24th. It said that she was seeking an undisclosed amount, but when I saw the headline that I'm sure got everybody's attention on Shade Room, it said 30 million. So that's a quick little summary or whatever. And so it seemed like as fast as this was announced on Thursday and everybody's talking about it, they're getting their think pieces together. Well, Friday comes and they have settled. So now everybody is tapping away on their laptops and their phones because we're trying to figure out what in the world. And I got to say, I was very surprised to see that it had ended so quickly as well. But I mean, it's pretty much what it is. She said, I've decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. And she said, I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for the unwavering support. Diddy said that we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. His lawyer came back and said, just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. He is happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best. His lawyer went on to talk about how Cassie has been repeatedly trying to blackmail Diddy for years with this $30 million amount. And so, I'm trying to just say that she has nothing and, whatever. And they just settled so she would be quiet, pretty much. So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Both of them would have some questions. Obviously, we know sometimes they do wait a while, but obviously that would be a question that would come up, alleged victim. And the same thing goes with him because it does look awfully strange that the first thing we hear from you is not you denying it. Is the first thing we hear from you is that you've already settled and it just came out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, naturally, that would be a question for anybody would be if you felt so strongly that you're innocent, why would you settle this quickly? Like this got to be probably a record set for settling a case.
That's kind of like a two-edged sword because that's the same thing. Because you would say, hey, if you felt like you were so victimized, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you just
Yeah.
accept? Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm cool. Give me the 3 million. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we can drop it.
And I will
Yeah.
say, to be fair, I will say when I first saw it, I thought that briefly. Like I was like, well, not negating that nothing happened, but why is she seeking out money instead of seeking out criminal charges? But I'm not going to ever sit up here and pretend like I understand how any of those laws work. But that was just my first thought. I was like, is the statute of limitations up? But then I was like, well, I think I was talking to Swaver or whatever about it. And I'm like, well, no, because the statute of limitations can't be up because you got Bill Cosby, you got all these different R. Kelly. So it can't be up, I mean, in that sense, or at least I didn't think it was. So I thought that as well. Like, why are you seeking money first instead of like actual like legal charges against this person?
And the thing that most people don't think about is why couldn't both be true? Because it very so much could be. She basically wanted to get some money out of this, and he has some skeletons in his closet.
Yeah.
Let's be real, that there have been a lot of alleged rumors with Diddy over the years. So honestly, nothing would really be that surprising. It's always seemed like it's been where there's smoke, there's fire type thing. So who's to say?
That's a good point too. And we are talking about celebrities right now. These people have money and they have the means. These high profile situations, they typically come on out and people just start talking. But then sometimes we get more into the stories. Oh, this has been going on for a long time. So it makes me wonder like, okay, how often is this stuff reported? And so I wanted to just look it up. So I just typed in how often is rape reported in America. And so I did see different articles, but this is from nownyc.org. Every 98 seconds, someone in the U.S. is sexually assaulted. More than 1 in 3 women have experienced rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. 91% of rape and sexual assault victims are female and 9% are male. So that's how often. And then I went over to just look to see about how often is it like picked up by the police. So I got this from National Sexual Violence Resource Center. It says rape is the most underreported crime, with 63% of sexual assaults not ever being reported to the police. I don't know if you guys know about that. This is to the listeners. I don't know if you guys know about that, but that needs to change. If you're out there experiencing something like that, you need to report it. Chances are you're not going up against a Diddy, and you don't want to just be making things up just to try to get something out of somebody. But that's just to say that, hey, this needs to be reported more because no one deserves to go through that, especially and then not be reported and then somebody not be held accountable for that. So that's the part that I want to say, just to the everyday people that are listening.
It's just crazy because last week we were talking about Keke Palmer, her situation. You have these celebrities and you just never really know what's going on in their personal life. It really reminds you that everybody is human.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, Ian. And to our listeners, though, after what you've heard on this podcast episode, I just want to know, do you think that there was more to it? Maybe it was some skeletons in Diddy's closet for real, and maybe Cassie did just want some money. Or do you think something really happened to her? She really cared about getting justice for herself and maybe for the other women? What she said was coming up in November?
It's the Survivors Act. I forget the whole name of it, but no, it ends on November the 24th, or the window, I guess, ends on November the 24th. So she wanted to get awareness out there.
Right. Kind of like using that as like the catapult. I guess we won't know. And as details come out, we will just come back with you guys and let you guys know what we get. But again, thank y'all so much for listening. Comment, like, and subscribe. I am Swaver, joined by Coco Love, Illuminated Lenses. This is Opinionated Facts Review Podcast. Until next time.